Hello, hello, hello. Hey, Seth. Yep, we're doing a bit more Outer Wilds. Oh, yeah, this game is definitely something else, and this, yeah, 5 day vacation has certainly given me a lot of time to catch up on my streaming. So, anyway, without further ado, let's actually start this game. 15 stream streak. Awesome. Thank you very much, Seth. Outer Wilds is best experience with a gamepad. Although, probably not one that looks like that. Bad enough goblin to beat a supernova? Probably not. I forgot this is an Annapurna game. Oh, okay. I have not heard that company name before, so it's all good, Travis. Hope you're doing okay. Did I? Let me restart this. Small planet with big friendships. Absolutely. Okay. There we go. Oh, they're the ones who made Stray. Okay. Well, that's a pedigree. And Donut... How have I been doing so many of their games and not knowing it? Or are they a publisher rather than a developer? Which, you know, isn't the worst thing in the world. Okay. Actually part of a film studio. Wow. Ooh, 15. Thank you, Bahamut. Alright, so... what the hell are we going to do today? I mean, I could try to, strong current beneath the surface of the ocean that prevents anything from sinking below it. Am I on the construction yards? There are some beneath the possible reach the core of giants deep. Yeah. You know, at least until I can figure out what the heck is going on here. Yeah. See, it's more professional that it's on a computer screen, because if it was a bunch of, you know, twine and other parts, it would probably just make us look crazy. Let's see. Would this be called wood punk? I mean... I mean, there is a lot of wood and punk and on your tail, that is true. Okay, Bramble Island is currently somewhere in space. Okay, we're somewhat familiar with this. All your current villagers to master rank? Yeah. Okay. So, it sounds like maybe this is the secret to the planet core. A leather worker, because leather horse armor, in case you get more zombie horses. Absolutely. Planet Punk? Absolutely. Kobold Core? Could be. Yeah. Okay, so this is a big crystal of some sort. Yeah, no, the game's kind of scariness comes from like a general sense of eeriness then. Absolutely. Well, if we call it Billy, the Crystal Billy, can it do ventriloquism? Okay, so for my viewers that aren't 40, Billy Crystal was, one of his earliest roles was on a show called Soap, which was a series that kind of spoofed soap operas. Scarier parts in the DLC? Makes sense. Yes, in that movie, I forgot the character's name, but Billy Crystal played a ventriloquist who was gay, which I think was like one of the first primetime characters who was openly queer and not just like a one-off character. Hey, Dolph, hope you're doing okay. Boring crashes, okay. Yep, we've been here definitely. Okay. You're doing well. I'm doing all right. So I'm more of the spin-offs of Soap than the Soap series. Yeah, The Butler got a spin-off series, right? Benson, yeah. It was like, oh, you're being careful? Here, let me throw a wrench at that. Yep! Yeah! Yeah, the only place I saw soap was on Comedy Central, and I don't think it was aired Benson, which is interesting. Maybe because it wasn't cheap. No, Maya, Brittle Hollow observed a phantom moon that would sometimes appear out of the sky. Mm-hmm. Quantum Moon. Sounds fun. Yeah. This game really wants me dead. Yeah, I'm beginning to feel that. Okay, is there anywhere to land on this death rock? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking for a little more long term. Volcano things, maybe? I mean, it's possible. Okay, that is definitely one bright ball of lava. Absolutely. Popeye's chicken is still excellent? Well, good to know. You have keep inventory on. Yeah, that's probably useful. Perfect landing. Use caution. Black hole sleeps low. You must not slip. Yeah, we're familiar with it. You break gravity's grip, you will not sleep. That sounds... yeah, accurate. Hardest part of this tragedy, not knowing who we have lost, or will the hardest part come later, when we learn? Be well, Auntie, Melloray. Any writings? Oh. Yeah, Mark's very good people. I really hope Mark gets through this whole thing in one piece. Okay. So, there's a space station. And what looks like a white hole. And some dark brambles that took it and captured it. But it sent out 3 escape pods. Okay. Can't understand. Why did the vessel crash into that place? We warped to follow that curious signal from the eye of the universe. Where you arrived was wrong. It wasn't where we tried to go. Was the vessel unwell in some way? No, Honora and I had checked before the warp, and the warp core navigation systems were both well. Suppose it wasn't a problem with the vessel, but with our destination. I'm afraid for our friends in Escape Pod 3. Yeah, I would be too. So which escape pod is this? Looks like one escape pod didn't make it. Yeah. Well, let's see. One looks like it went to the twin planets. And yeah, one I feel is on this planet here. And one went to what looks to be a wormhole. Yeah. trees detected. I don't know. I'd love to find some alive people. We can hear the other escape pod's distress signals. It gives us hope. Folly, are you still here? I'm unsure how to survive this place without you. I'm unsure how to be me without you. Yeah. I mean, so many of these games, like, you know, they go with the whole, you know, the scientist lacked hubris angle, but this one, it feels like, yeah, these people that we're looking after, they just got a bad rap, you know? They just rolled poorly. Like, yeah, sure, you know, the pilot was a hot rod who was like, you know, hey, I want to go fast, but yeah, they went in over their skis. But yeah, it doesn't seem like they were just, you know, going, ha ha! And hydrate, yes. And stretch. And posture, yep. All good things. What to have for dinner? Well, don't ask me. I have been consuming leftovers for the past, like, several meals. Yeah, exactly. You do feel bad for them, you know. You don't have any leftovers? Yeah. Yeah, this isn't a group of people who decided, hey, you know what sounds cool? A demon core. Yeah, let's make that. And then, you know, they all died and you're just like, you know, of course. Hey, it's Simon Tesla. Hope you're doing okay. Doing all right? Glad to hear. Yeah, this is blind. I'm barely know what's going on here. So, you will excuse me if I'm sitting here going, what's going on? It is very cool. I will admit, E621 did spoil me on some cuties, but, you know what? I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, I don't wanna. Although I think I need to go over there. Well, that was my face. And appreciated. It was very much a crunch. My visor was a jawbreaker. It's extremely hard. I appreciate your endeavor. As no, I agree that this game feels like a perfect thing to heavily discuss the plot line of. Okay, we're going around the sun, correct? Good. Okay. Or of a Nomai vessel encountering a signal. You're of Dark Bramble ensnaring the Nomai vessel. You're of 3 escape pods evacuating the Nomai vessel. Okay. So that's escape pod 1. I guess this is escape pod 2. Landed somewhere in the Hourglass Twins. Never made it out of the Dark Bramble. Nomai warped to the solar system in a spaceship called the Vessel. They were attempting to follow a signal from the eye of the universe. Vessel crashed somewhere in the Dark Bramble. Okay. Well, I guess we can go to the Twins. Thank goodness for low gravity, or that would be terrible. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Stacklands either, but pretty sure it's cool. Okay, what are you? Okay. Solitaire RPG. Sounds cool. Oh. Well, I'd call that not good. Babe. I love you, babe. I got you, babe. It did. Can you field repair a nuclear reactor? Good question. Probably not. Perfect landing. Okay. We got a thingy here, but it's pushing me out. Back to the planet, please. Just my legs. Yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, let's see if we can head to the South Pole. Maybe there's something there. Yeah. There is something here. Okay, hello. You look like a solar generator of some sort. Are you all positioned to this tower? You are. And you also do not want me to go in. Polar solar system's less than 100 kilometers? Yeah, that sounds about right. Okay. Oh, there goes my ship. Cool. Cool. Yeah, I'd say none of this is particularly good. Okay. Well, hello. No problem. The Sunless City, 120 meters. 3 minutes of oxygen. That's not a good sign. Activate the gravity cannon. Call the shuttle home. Okay. Guess we activated that on the other way. No, the ball didn't hurt me. The cacti did, though. Vitals critical. Hey, tail numbs. Yeah, cacti is very spiky. There is a suit flashlight. Yep. It's not super powerful, but okay, I think there's a lot more we can learn over in the Twin Mercuries right now. And it feels like more's going on in the Ember Twin than the Ash Twin. There's definitely something in the middle of the Ash Twin, but I have a feeling that's something I need to teleport into. Okay. Hi, you. Absolutely. Alright, so I think this is the other escape pod. Need status reports for all systems, but initial things first. Is everyone unharmed? Escape pod passengers are afraid, but physically well. Anoa, everyone survived the crash. That's a relief, at least. You have my gratitude. Burr, were you able to find the other escape pod's distress signals? I can hear both signals somewhere in this star system, but I don't believe either escape pod crashed on the same planet as us. That is accurate. We're gonna find a bunch of corpses? I mean, we've found a lot. Begin flight log. Escape pod 2. Vessel has been mortally injured. Escape emergency sequence activated. Waiting the departure from vessel. Launching escape pod 3. Now launching escape pod 2. Collision imminent. Prepare for impact. Scanning external environment. Scan complete. External temperature is prohibitively high. Verdict inhospitable. Do not seek shelter on planet surface. Yeah. Heat from this star system's sun is more bearable below the surface. Yeah. When our escape pod punctured this planet's surface, it broke into what scan shows as a cave system with much cooler air. I would recommend we seek a site down there to build a long-term shelter. Anoa. But these passages are a maze. Great. Even with this danger, they're still our best chance for survival. We'll form teams and descend into the caves to look for a shelter site. We can mark our findings on the walls to avoid becoming irreversibly lost. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Be cautious, everyone. And be aware of the sand you search. It appears to be rising gradually. Hooray! Lots of text. Emergency escape hatch. Keep moving, friends. Nothing but of interest at the end of this passage but rocks. While the rocks are interesting, they can wait in a less urgent time. Yep. I'll follow this tunnel to its end. Coleus and I will examine the horror that lies at its terminus later, provided we live through this. Oh, you can't just tell me that and just expect me to walk away. We have found an enormous cavern at the end of the passage that appears promising. Believe that we can construct long-term shelter there. Cavern Mallory found is a wise choice for shelter. Can you mark the directions for others to follow? This is the start of a path to the shelter. I've left directions to guide you there. Of note, we must hurry, as the pathway there is filling with sand. Do not allow yourself to be buried by sand and make sure no one is lost. Okay. So, this seems promising. That's good. The information is retained despite the time loop? Absolutely. Path to shelter site is somewhat convoluted. Follow the instructions ahead closely. Okay. Reach shelter site. Walk forward until you meet a sandfall at the pit. Then turn left. Continue the room filled with rock column formation and climb upward through them to the opening above them. Sand here is rising, so you must be cautious but swift. So, forward until you meet the sandfall at the pit. Left. Continue the room with the rock column and climb up. Sand. Left. Rock column up. Be cautious crossing the chasm ahead. The bridge Morlai crafted will do its job, but it isn't strong. Once on the far side, look for the tunnel hidden behind the falling sand. Follow it and you'll reach the shelter sites. Okay, great. You're doing well. Only a little farther left to go now to reach the shelter site. You can rest here. Hurry before the sand comes. Okay. A direction would be nice. It looks like up there. Yep, very much sandstorm. And I can't fight the sandstorm. So I'm kind of trapped. Or am I? Okay! Minutes of oxygen remaining. I don't like that. It's amazing. Look inside the cave. How did we come to rest here? This isn't encountered others' cave. I think this is a rare find. We can see, Coleus and I believe the specimen must be very old indeed. Imagine what we learn if we could examine it. Both agree it's unlikely this dry planet and this horrid place, especially considering what we observed during the vessel's evacuation. Clearly this hole is too small to have fit through. Hypothesis, there's another entrance to this cave. There is. Coleus and I will find it. Can't leave valuable information undiscovered. And update, we need to find a way inside quickly. Laura, because when I returned here to search for an entrance to the cave, there was children playing on the specimen. Children? Okay, first off, is this a door that leads to an oxygenated area? I think it is oxygenated somewhere. More corpses. But these look fresher somehow. Oh, air. Anglerfish Overlook District. Stepping Stone District. High Energy Lab Trailhead. Ice Shine District. Okay, this is a heck of a place. Okay, this sends me out of here. Hello? Okay. Pizza delivery from Earthian Outer World, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. We're meeting in the Fossil Fish Cave to play the game. If you're too big to climb through the Anglerfish Overlook hole, we'll have to go the long way, but it isn't far. Go to Stepping Stone Cave, and then up into the Fossil Fish Cave. I tried to get the fossil fish to the Stepping Stone Cave, but couldn't find the entrance. Where is it? Dad can't fit through the Anglerfish Overlook hole anymore because he grew bigger. He's taller than Lappai now. Who cares? Ilex is still the tallest. Remember to feed the fossil fish first. If you go to the Anglerfish Overlook and throw a light into her mouth, she'll show you the way. Okay. Oh yeah, no, the environmental storytelling of this game is definitely amazing. We're playing the Fossil Fish game tonight? Fed the Fossil Fish a new lantern. If you go to Stepping Stone Cave, the entrance to Fossil Fish Cave is easy to see now. Gratitude Solemn. It's good you're small enough to climb through the hole at the Anglerfish Overlook. Still small enough. Won't be for long. Mom and Dad are tall. You and I will be tall too. Okay, so how long were these people here? Okay, this thing is legitimately rising. Should we build the sun station to power the Ash Twin project? Are there other ways to generate this level of power? Almost can't comprehend this is being suggested seriously. The purpose of Sun Station goes against every standard we hold ourselves to and everything we believe in as a species. We fail, and probability of this is not insignificant. We will probably question and destroy ourselves, all life here and the rest of this star system. We should protect this species. Potential annihilation of an entire star system is too severe a cost. We shouldn't build a sun station, no matter how badly we want the knowledge that comes with it. Fear of failure is a poor reason not to try, I believe. We're curious, sun station will work. I believe in Pi. Poke, I'm deeply honored, Idea. I comprehend your position. However, we aren't all but certain the sun station will not cause destruction once we built it. I will not support the station's use. I understand this proposal is unsettling, but the sun station must be built if we hope to complete the Ash Twin project. Unsurprisingly, Idea, I disagree. We're pushing possible new technology further than ever before. That, in my experience, is our defining characteristic of our species. Yep, hubris. Alright, hydrate. And more stretching. Ow. ghost matter. Great. Okay, that whole place is covered in ghost matter. Hooray! Curious which planets I've visited? I think peaked in all of them at this point. Yeah. The Nomai and the Hearthians? Well, the Nomai seem to have 3 eyes. And the Hearthians have 4 eyes. Yep. Okay. This was told as a terrible place, so... Well, hello. Eep. And thank you for the subscription. Okay, and we were told this was a dead end. Yep, that was pretty simple. Well, I appreciate that you used it on little old me. No, this passage leads to breathable air. Refill your supply tank here. We cannot tell how far deep the tunnels may wind, but do not linger. The area is exposed to the heat of the alien sun. Fill your air supply tanks and return quickly. Well, I'm not gonna. There's plenty to be missed. I can sense that. I mean, I'm just doing the, I take some information, I walk that direction, gather as much information, and if it's stopped, giving me any new information, well, walk forward till you reach the Sandfall Pit. Oh. Yes. Okay, we... One reason the computer likes Crucial the game doesn't railroad, lets you... Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay, so we went into the city last time. I wish you could translate through the scout. Okay, something about Anglerfish Lookout. So that's where we came out of. Oh, Anglerfish Lookout is that, and I'm too big to fit through. Yeah, okay. Hey Travis, welcome back. There's stuff in there. I like me some stuff. Just need to find out how to get into said stuff. All ready to eat? Nice. Okay. That did not get me to where I wanted to go, I don't think. But it's the idea of... This way I want to go? Yes. Got a scroll. Who's been computing shuttle trajectories in the Sun Station? Don't worry, the station is such a low stellar orbit. We've constructed a different, safer way to travel from there from Ash Twin. Okay. Really theoretical exercise on my part, Yarrow. Who doesn't love the computation of a good, low stellar orbit shuttle trajectory? That would be Pi. I told her we wouldn't be traveling there by shuttle and that the Sun Station doesn't even have a landing pad, but she said she knew. Pi, I look forward to be working with you, but I'm also relieved that it'll be easy to return to Ash Twin regularly. Okay, so there is... easier way to get back. Minutes of oxygen. Nope, the oxygen does not seem to be very included. Okay, so I was faffing out up there, lowered my ability to go down here, but I learned more stuff up there, so it wasn't exactly a waste of time. Gravity Canyon. Oh. Well, aren't you nice? Okay. Okay, so that's a quick way to the town. I mean, it's dangerous AF, but it's quick. Does this also go to the same city? Well, if it does, I can't get to it. Shuttle is currently resting at the Comet. Call the shuttle home. Activate the grav cannon. Okay. Hello. I get a new shuttlecraft? I fear our situation may be dire. Pi, Poke, I've landed this on the comet not long after its arrival in the star system. Our shuttle's equipment heard strange energy readings coming from somewhere beneath the surface. Pi and Poke were able to locate a fissure in the ice on the comet's sunward side, and they descended inside to investigate the source of the readings. But Pi and my sister have been gone for a long time now. They haven't contacted me since descending below the surface either. Should I leave the shuttle to look for them? I want to follow protocol, but I don't know what I'll do if they aren't well. Poke, Pi, come back to me safely, my friends. And we've got an alien, okay. Yeah, so there's a fracture on the comet. Okay, so that takes us off. Okay, so where are we going? Well, who knows? I'm guessing I hit something in space. But we got a fair amount of new information. Okay, I like that. Not like it could keep the shuttle anyhow? Yeah. Naomi City, built in the walls of a huge underground cavern. City is divided vertically into 4 districts. Nomai debated building a sun station in order to power the Ash Twin project. Several Nomai opposed its construction, arguing failure could result in the destruction of the solar system. More to explore here. Found a cave with an anglerfish fossil inside, but the opening's only big enough for my scout. No, my children used to play a game in the fossil fish cave. There's a way to enter the fossil fish cave from Stepping Stone Cave. Okay. The entrance from Stepping Stone Cave is hard to see unless the anglerfish is fed a light first. Okay. I can do that. Shuttle equipment heard strange energy readings coming from somewhere beneath the surface. Two of the Nomai located a fissure in the ice on the interloper's sunward side. They descended inside to investigate. Nomai landed on the interloper not long after its arrival in the solar system. Shuttle equipment haven't heard strange energy readings coming from somewhere beneath the surface. Clary, the Nomai who stayed behind, lost contact with the other two after they descended below the interloper's surface. Huge cylindrical structure that generates a strong upward gravity field. I recall a Nomai shuttle from the interloper. Okay, let's... Let's hit the interloper. Or autopilot before we get sent into the sun again. Sun's gravity is doing its thing. Does the game give force feedback on the controller? Possibly. I don't believe this controller has rumble, so you'll love it there on the comment, I'm sure. I think I've been there once already. Lots of fun units, absolutely. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that is. Yeah, plenty of shaved ice. Yay, ice physics! Everyone's favorite thing. Okay. This is troublesome. It seems the comet wishes to submerge our shuttle in ice. If we stay on the surface too long, the shuttle may freeze entirely. Yeah. Even if it did, couldn't someone call it back home to the gravity cannon on Ember Twin? Okay. Yes, but the exploration of the comet would be more difficult if we were without the shuttle until someone recalled it. Perhaps we shouldn't have landed on the dark side of the comet. Probably not. Suppose one of us remain in the shuttle to keep it warm and continue monitoring the surface? That'd be wise. I think, Clary, if you don't mind waiting here with it, Pokey and I can continue to investigate on the surface. Okay. I'd say it's not time for a reset, is it? Back from Popeyes. Yay! Mmm, cookies and cream. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, Hershey's Cookie and Cream was definitely good stuff. Hydrate and stretch, absolutely. Oh, mint chocolate crunch cookie bar. That's always good. Yeah, I mean, mint chocolate's pretty popular. Don't worry, we'll get all the oxygen we want. Okay, you're escape pod 1. Well, I say we head to the unknown. Yeah. So, fun fact, um, the the giant probe used in Star Trek 4 was actually originally designed for a different science fiction movie. They were going to do Rendezvous with Ranma, which is an, I want to say, Arthur C. Clarke novel about First Contact, which is this giant cylindrical shuttle sent towards the solar system. But funding of that went bust, so they were like, well, we got it. Let's just put it into a different thing. So they used it as the whale probe in yeah, Niven. There we go. Yeah, it was a Larry Niven. Was it Niven? No. Anyway. Yeah, I think it was Clark. Hull breach detected. You don't say. Oh, the ship is effed. Good to know. Well, let's see if we can't find any, yeah, Rendezvous with Rama, yeah. No, no, I don't want to go up. Went to use the restroom and now you're confused? Hey, you know what? That just sounds like, most of my life, thank you. Am I considered spaced now? I mean, I would. Okay. We are indeed the Hearthian who fell to, well, not Earth, Dark Bramble. And we are definitely not as suave or debonair as David Bowie. Never made it out of Dark Bramble. Mm-hmm. Are we as cool as Indiana Jones? I do not think I could survive a nuclear blast in a refrigerator. No one could realistically do that either. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't be the radiation that gets you. It would just be just all the G-forces. Oh, very interesting environment. Okay. Whatever this red thing is. Why does it make... So... More ending? Right. So inside that, yeah. I didn't expect them to be big enough to eat a ship, and also did not expect them to be in there. Yeah. Yep. Apparently, welcome to giant anglerfish. There are ways past them, though. Oh, I bet. I mean, that's... seems to be the point of the game. I'm sure the way past them is not through the a millinery canal, though. Okay, so the white lights are indeed the anglerfish. It was indeed a trap. These are the things that know my kids were playing with. Yeah! So, don't fuck with the Nomai. Possibly. Yeah. Could be. Okay, so this is a big red seed. My God. Hi? No. Well. Oh, of course. You aren't going after the ship, you're going after me. Indeed scary. I mean, true. Yep. It's also in that vampire movie. Also played Nikola Tesla. Well, poo. Yep, the hunger. Yep. Apparently. Yep, they are space fish, which you know what the technical term for space fish is, right? They're spish. Put vampire in space, aren't they grumpier by being colder? Possibly. So, Cairo fish, yeah. If they're Irish. Okay, we're in here and a distress beacon is here. Of course. I mean, true. I know in the Choose Your Own Adventure book, Space Vampire, if you throw a vampire into space, well, into a sun, they burn up just like anything else. So I wanted... Cool. Okay, come on. All right. Really? This is one of the most stressful parts of the game. You don't say! Our escape pod crashed as we tried to flee this place, destroying our movement and communication capabilities in the present. As long as we can, but this pod's supply of breathable air is nearly depleted, and the anglerfish attack more and more frequently. Yeah. Best chance of survival is to return to the vessel, either repair damage or, more probably, await rescue. Seka is the message finished. The vessel's beacon is already growing fainter. It'll be gone in a matter of hours. We need to leave here quickly. Yeah. I'd say this is very unsettling. Escape Pod 3. Vessel has been mortally injured. Emergency sequence been activated. Waiting departure from vessel. Now launching Escape Pod 3. Multiple collisions have altered pod's trajectory. Significant damage to pod detected. Yeah. Navigation error, life support error, propulsion error. Sounds great. Sounds like my day. Scanning internal environment. Scan complete. Gravity not detected. Breathable air not detected. Multiple life forms detected. Potentially hostile. Verdict. Do not enter pod. Or exit pod. No. There's a new problem. Our equipment is detecting two distinct beacons from the vessel. It's impossible for the vessel to be in two different locations at the same time. It is. I agree, but the beacons are exactly identical to each other. Perhaps if I had more time. We're nearly out of time already. Din, the vessel's beacon is quickly fading. Soon it'll be gone and we will be lost. We'll follow the beacon whose source is nearest to us. But suppose that beacon is false. Likely don't have enough air to reach the farther of the two beacons, Din. The decision is made for us. We can leave a trail of lights as we go. There's still a chance someone could hear our escape pod's distress signal. I'm got here. Escape hatch. You can say this place is great. I mean, it's certainly interesting. To say that my tail hole right now is able to withstand vacuum pressures is an understatement. Okay, so we have a bunch of floating corpses. Anyone was searching for us. We followed one of the two beacons from vessel to this place. We can no longer go further. It's almost too faint to hear now, but the vessel's beacon is still faintly emitting from within this thorny seed. Yet opening is too small for a single nomai to fit through, so our escape pod couldn't have flown through here. Don't know how this could be possible, but this gruesome place may be able to manipulate space itself. Maybe this is our undoing. Yeah, we noticed. To be so close to the location of the vessel and still so far is difficult. Worse, the vessel's beacon is dying. Soon we'll be unable to hear it. There's nothing we can do now but try to perhaps find a way inside, or at least attempt to comprehend why this happened. My dearest hope is the other escape pods were able to reach relative safety. Relative is about right. Okay, there is a thing in here. Hydrate and stretch. Oh, yeah, no, this is definitely very sad. DLC is also very sad. Hooray! Unidentified signal nearby. Escape Pod 3. Nomai Grave. 3 Nomai escape pods crashed in our solar system. All 3 escape pods were launched from something called the vessel, which was badly damaged. Survivors escape pod 3 detected 2 distant beacons from the vessel as if it was 2 locations at once. Survivors escape pod 3 followed one of the 2 vessel beacons to a small dark bramble seed, which they could go no further. Nomai could faintly hear the vessel's beacon from within the seed, but the opening was too small for a single Nomai to fit through, much less an entire escape pod. The vessel's beacon was dying and would soon be gone completely. If I launch my scout into the seed, I can take photos of an enormous derelict Nomai ship. Nomai warped to the solar system a spaceship called the Vessel. They were attempting to follow a signature from the eye of the universe. The vessel crashed somewhere in the dark bramble. Launched my scout in the seed, Nomai Grave, and took photos of an enormous derelict Nomai ship. Okay, there's more to explore in the old settlement. That's been covered. That's been covered. Obviously a lot more to go here. More to explore in the Sunless City. So, a way to safely travel to the Sun Station from Ash Twin. Nomai debated building a Sun Station in order to power the Ash Twin project. Nomai built something called the Sun Station. Not everyone supported its construction. Need kitten videos after this? Understandable. More to explore in the control module, except I don't think I can get in there at the moment. Found a Nomai shuttle almost completely encased in ice. Nomai landed in the Interloper not long after its arrival in the solar system. Shuttle's equipment heard of strange energy readings coming from somewhere beneath the surface. There were 3 Nomai aboard the shuttle. One of them stayed behind to keep the shuttle warm, while the other 2 explored the Interloper. Clary, the Nomai who stayed behind, lost contact with the other 2 after they descended below the Interloper's surface. So there is some way in there. Huge cylindrical structure that generates a strong upward gravity field. Recalled the Nomai shuttle from the Interloper. Shuttle's surface heard strange energy readings coming from somewhere beneath the surface. 2 of the Nomai located a fissure in the ice on the Interloper's sunward side. Descended to investigate. So oh, that just brought us back here. Well, if you want to read more stories about furries stuck inside a bunch of bramble spheres, I highly recommend reading the Nos Saga books by Joaquin Baldwin. What ice cream the Hearthians make? I mean, true. Okay, are these all... Oh wait, you're dead. Yep, big enough for trees. Hey, Fieldspar. Whoa! Where'd you come from? No one comes in, well, ever actually. Makes you the second Hearthian to ever reach Dark Bramble. After me, of course. Well done. Do you want to make a landing spot there? You would. Say, it's you. Made you an astronaut, so you haven't blown yourself up yet? Good for you. Fieldspar, you're alive. You never were the brightest hatchling, were you? Yeah, that's right, I'm alive. Been camping out here since my ship, crashed violently. You crashed, but you're the greatest pilot in Hearthian history. Haven't lived in polite society for a while, so I'm just going to assume that wasn't sarcasm. My story goes like this. I just finished exploring the core of Giant's Deep, and I wanted to try my hand at Dark Bramble, seeing as no one ever had been before. Getting around in Dark Bramble was easy, mind you. Once you dodged one massive interdimensional vine bristling with thorns, you've dodged them all. After a while, I run into this huge anglerfish. You seen them? Big gnarly things? And this one's the biggest one I've ever seen. I pulled a few stunts, trying to shake the thing off, nothing fancy. I'm going full speed when the fish clips me, knocks me into a vine, and... well, like I said, I crash. Blammo! On impact, my ship starts making noise like it's coming apart from the inside. And I think, well, that ain't great. Sure enough, I barely got out of there before the electrical systems started sparking like crazy. So I either move fast and die unpleasantly, or die unpleasantly. So I had to put a little distance between me and my poor fried ship. Camped out near where I crashed at first, found the skeleton later. Great find! Would have been stupid not to use it. So I moved my setup over here and planted my emergency tree seeds. Been here ever since. Wow. Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, that's how it went down, hatchling. Story's over. Feel free to stay and enjoy the fire for a while. Or don't. Fire's not going anywhere. Anything else you wanted? What happened to this anglerfish? Oh, skeleton? It was like this when I got here. Near as I can tell, the anglerfish must have been chewing on a vine and happened to eat a seed. When the seed grew and grew, poor fish's stomach until, well, this happened. Emergency tree seeds, yeah. Gross, huh? Skeleton was a good find. Keeps fish away. See, they're territorial, so they mostly avoid each other. That's why I set up camp here. Hey, Absolute, pull up a marshmallow stick. I found some stuff. Lay it on me, hatchling. Found a dark bramble seed on Timberhearth. That's bad business, hatchling. Sure, it will tell you if you so much as glance in the bark bramble's direction. There used to be a fifth planet where the bramble is now. Vernal plant appeared at the center and kept growing and growing and growing until it shattered the planet and scattered its pieces across space. Oh. If we don't get that seed you found sorted real quick like, I suspect Timberhearth will be heading towards the same fate. And I tell you what, we Hearthians have overcome far too much to be done in by some worthless seed. Hey. Where should I explore here? That's the spirit. Anywhere is good, but you should know that space here is weird, intensely. Ever tried throwing your scout in one of these weird seeds? See there with the little opening? It's just big enough to launch one through. Yep. Scout tracker will tell you the scout is in two places at once, but I don't think that's wrong exactly, because space doesn't work right here. That seed looks small, see, but bigger. Inside, it's bigger. Ah, TARDIS. Much bigger. Very much a TARDIS. I had a lot of time to think about that. My theory is Dark Bramble kind of expands as you go through each sphere. That's why it's bigger inside those seeds. Yeah, I noticed. Well, that's my theory. Keep in mind while you're exploring Dark Bramble, and maybe you won't get lost inside forever. Good luck! Shouldn't I tell ground control to come and get you? Well, yeah, sure, whenever you have the time. Frankly, I kind of like it out here. Quiet and peaceful-ish. You're a little young to understand, but there's a lot of pressure. Being the best ever was, nice to have a break. What happened with all the planted emergency tree seeds interact with the dark bramble seeds? Good question. Reached the core of Giant's Deep. How'd you do it? Giant's Deep core, huh? That was a wild one. But since you're asking, I got to assume you haven't made it down there yourself yet, right? If I tell you how, it feels kind of like cheating. I'm okay with cheating. On a completely unrelated note, sure was a big hollow vine my ship crashed into. Yep. If I were you, I'd go take a walk and see where it ends. You want to go into the tail of this anglerfish skeleton and look for a flickering light in the fog. That's my old ship. Path starts there. Okay. So... flickering light past the anus. Yeah, I don't think his ship is particularly fixable. And you can't have access inside. A little annoying. Well, let's see what's down this hollow tube. Yeah, works for Fix-It Felix. Okay, well, we're in a completely different area. Yeah. Low gravity. Trip 4. Entry, I'm going to say not 1. Crashes 3. Boring crashes 0. Personal best. Whoa, never thought want to see beasties outside of Giant's Deep. They were awfully useful back there. Maybe a jellyfish could be useful here too. Blech, thing tastes terrible. From outside all rubbery and tough. Yeah, it's because they insulate the jellyfish's inside from getting zapped by electricity. Right, going inside the jellyfish's interior to see what in there tastes any better. That doesn't sound any smarter, but okay. Note to Feldspar, do not eat this even if you are dying. It would be too sad if this is the last thing you ever ate in life. Guess these jellyfish are only used for insulation from electricity. Again, do not eat. Love, Feldspar. Yeah. I'm guessing that's the Nova happening. Yep, loop's gonna loop. But we've learned a lot. Absolutely, a very fascinating game. Okay. Before we end this stream, I want to go and check our log. Feldspar Camp, frozen jellyfish. Okay. Don't know much about that. Don't know much about that. Okay, we know the anglerfish fossil. We want to throw in a scout to ignite the pathway. Covered in snow and ice, uniquely shaped Nomai ruin. Nomai right. First recreated North technology. Okay. So is that how you get to the quantum moon? Feldspar is alive. They crashed their ship and now camping inside a huge anglerfish skeleton. Feldspar doesn't think my scout tracker is wrong when it says my scout's in 2 places at once. They have a theory that space doesn't work the same way inside the Dark Bramble. Feldspar doesn't sound overly eager to return to civilization. They've been enjoying the relatively peace and quiet. Feldspar documented their attempts to eat through the enormous jellyfish frozen in the ice. The outside was all rubbery and tough, possibly because it insulated the jellyfish inside from getting zapped by electricity. Feldspar decided to venture into the jellyfish's interior cavity to see if it tasted any better on the inside. After tasting the inside of the jellyfish, Feldspar concluded that these jellyfish are only useful for insulation from electricity. There's one way to land on the quantum moon, but you'll figure it out. Yeah. Maybe. I am an idiot. Okay. So I think the next thing we're going to do is figure out the anglerfish puzzle. But I think we're going to call that a video now because my brain is full. So, yeah. Let's, well, I appreciate the vote of confidence. Let's see who is out and about. Take care, Bahamut. Yeah, let's just do Crescent XG. They're always fun. Anyway, thanks all for stopping by, and tomorrow we'll go back to a bit more shooty. Yay! Have a good one, folks.